Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome for the first time. Either way, I'm super happy you're here. I'm going to unbox this package from Born Pretty that I just received, and we are going to do a little bit of swatching. If you want to skip and go straight into the nails, that starts at $6.26. So, if you don't want to watch this part, that's totally fine, but I did want to leave it in for those who did want to see the collection that I got and the swatches. So first they sent me their gel base and gel top coat, which I am going to use in this video so that I can tell you guys what I think about them. This is my first time using them. I was actually tempted to buy them on Amazon, but then when I saw that they were sending, I was like, okay, I'll hold off. And if I really like them, I can use them. And then purchase more. They're very affordable on Amazon, so I will link them. I will link these. I hopefully found the right set. There's so many. This is a milky jelly set, and there's so many different ones. It was really hard, but I believe this is the classic French tip milky jelly set. On the bottles, it says Prime Basic Milky Jelly, but I could not find that anywhere. So when I was matching up the colors on Amazon, the closest I could find was the Classic French. So I'm going to pull all these colors out, and then we will get into the swatches. I don't have a whole lot of milky jelly colors, so I wasn't sure how this was going to go. But I love them. They're so awesome. And then for reference, I do swatch the back of the nail tips, which is a little hard in that little divot right there. And that's fine. It's a little bare there, but not bad. I do 2 layers on every single nail, but I'm going to kind of go through it really fast. So this white is gorgeous, and I absolutely love it. It played very nicely. It's a little bit hard to do French tips with it in the sense that it is so milky. You do have to do 2 layers, and then I wasn't able to use a liner brush to line the outline. So, but I'll show you guys how I did it. You'll see that here soon. This is a very light sheer pink. It's gorgeous. It's gonna be one of my go-to pink colors, absolutely, for sure. This is the second layer. And they don't have names. They're all numbered. So this is number 2. And the first one was number 1. Obviously, I do go in order just because I'm weird like that. And then I am curing. The first layer I cured for 30 seconds. The second layer I do a full cure for 60. Should probably do 60 on both. And if I was doing them on my nails, which I will be here soon, I do cure for 60 both layers because that's the directions on the bottle. But because they're swatches, I wasn't too worried about it, and my first layer was rather thin. So this is the next color. This is number 3. I don't believe. This is the color I end up using on my nails today. It's just beautiful. It's a little darker than the sheer pink, but it's just so pretty. I had a hard time deciding what to use. This is the next one. It is number 4, and it's just a little darker than the last one and more, I'd say almost more peach toned. Or maybe it has an orange hue in it. I'm really bad at this. I'm so sorry, but it's like a pink with a peachy orange tone in it, from what I can see. Hopefully I'm right about that. So that's the first layer, and we're going to get into the second layer right now. I love doing my swatches like this because then I don't have to use a top coat, and I don't want to waste any of my top coats. So then if I just do them on the underside, and then I wipe off any dispersion layer and anything like that when they're totally done curing and everything. And that way, I can just store them, and then it looks like they have a top coat on them because I'm doing them on the underside of the swatch. So that is my go-to way to swatch gels. I love it. And this color is so pretty. This is probably going to be one of my go-to nudes. It's a very sheer brown tannish color, and I don't know, I love it. I don't know that I would use it for Frenchies because I'm more of a pink Frenchie when I do Frenchies, which isn't often, and I'm not very good at it. But I think this set turned out pretty good, especially for, I've done a decent amount of dip nail Frenchies, but not like gel. So it's very, it's new to me. So that's that color. And then here is the last color, number 6. And this is a more of a brown tone. And it is, oh, I love it. I love it. And I'm not much of a brown girl, but I feel like I'm starting to be, especially with these milky jelly colors. They are just so luscious and fall, and they're just gorgeous. And I got a hair, so I had to clean that out. This looks, I mean, one coat is fine, but 2 coats is where it just really like, oh, it's just luscious. I don't know. I don't know what it is about brown right now. I think it's because I'm getting into the fall nails. Although the set that I do is definitely not fall. It's more all year round. You could do it anytime. It's more that clean girl look that's going around, I guess you could say. I think. I don't know. It's just, yeah. So here's all the colors swatched together and labeled. So I am going to use the white, and this is me deciding which pink I want to use. So I kind of did a swatch with the French tip so that I knew what looked good, and like was trying to decide where I wanted to go. And it was really between number 3 and 4. But after I did this with all of them, I was like, okay, it's 3. I'm going with 3. So that is what I picked. I am going to get the base coat on. And while I am doing that, I'm going to just tell you guys what I have on my nails right now. So I have on the BT Art Box medium almond tips. I will link these. I just purchased, and I think they're actually coming today. Yay, but I won't be ready for them. I'm not going to take these off until they're ready to come off, because that's just going to do damage, like on, off, on, off. I told you guys in my last video, I cannot do that. So I'm going to wear these as long as I can, but then I think I'll switch to the shorter ones just because these are a little long for like everyday use, for cleaning out the bunny hutches and stuff like that. They're fine. They're just a little bit longer than I like for everyday wear. But I did adhere these, the Gel X style. I used the Model 1's Builder Gel. I did just get some Model 1's hard gel and some nail forms, but I'm a ways off from that. I have to wait until my nails grow out at least to the end or very close to the end of my free edge, because if I try to use forms on my nails, especially because a couple of them broke last time I took off my tips and put these tips on, and they're very, very short. I don't really want to make the application process harder than it needs to be. So yeah, we're going to wait on building out my nails until it's probably going to be months, but I have the stuff now, so that's great. In the meantime, I will keep using, I love the BTR box. My favorite thing about them is that because they're pigmented, lightly, like a light nude pink, I don't have to worry about I don't even put anything over them except a gel top coat. They're perfect on their own, and yeah, I love them. So let's talk about the application. So I used the base gel. My thoughts on the base gel. It's really thin from what I'm used to, and it's also a little runny because it's so thin. So you just have to be really careful and use really thin coats. I could not stop flooding my ring finger. I don't know what it was about that finger. Every other finger was fine. I just kept flooding that one for some reason. But you just have to be cautious and wear thin coats. And then this beautiful, I cannot. I just think it's so gorgeous. I know my nails are already pink, so it's like, oh, they're the same. They're not, it's not the same, I promise. You can definitely see the pigment over, especially when I get into the second layer, but I love it. And this is my test to see if I'm allergic to Born Pretty. So this is my first time doing Born Pretty, anything besides Model 1s and Beetles, on my actual nails. And so far, I did these yesterday, and so far I have zero reaction. My nails are just fine, no issue at all. The right hand, I have the leave gel on that I got in a package a couple months ago or like a month ago, the vacation collection, and I put on this beautiful orange color. I don't have any gel on my 2D fingers. I just put those directly over the tips. But so far I have zero reaction from that too. So I am leaning more and more towards I got paranoid and thought I had a gel allergy and I didn't. And I just want to slap myself for that because I went like 2.5, almost 3 years without using gel, except maybe here and there because I was like, ooh, I can do it, I can do it. And then I'd like freak out because my finger would tickle or something and I would like panic and think, oh my God, it's a gel allergy. And I would stop. I think I'm crazy. I don't know that I honestly don't know. So I'm just being really careful in the meantime. Yes, it's inevitable. I do this myself. I'm not a professional. I'm gonna get gel on my skin. I am as careful as I can be, but it's going to happen. So when it does, I just get it off as like immediately. And if any gel cures on my skin, I take my cuticle bit when I'm all done doing my nails, after I've top coated and everything, I take my cuticle bit and I just go around and clean off any gel that got on my skin. I never leave it there. So yes, it's not great that it cured on my skin, but there is a way to remedy it. And yeah, like I said, at this point, I have zero signs of no inflammation, no red, no swelling, no bumps. Not that I ever got bumps because I did not. Well, I never got any of that. That's the weird thing. I only had peeling around my nails or on the skin around my nails. And it was hot in summer and that was probably just dry skin and I'm a paranoid wacko. So there's that. But I don't really know. So I'm just still being as cautious as I can. Okay, back to the nails because I'm like halfway into this French tip, or actually I think I'm further than that. So I'm basically just going in with the bottle, as you can see, and I'm just kind of like trying to outline the best I can. And then I will go in with the 20 millimeter liner brush. This is from Sundera. I will link it. I think it comes only in a set, but I will link it. And I'm just trying to like basically guide the gel polish down a little bit. I don't like the deep French lines that go like all the way down to like the bottom of your nail. Not the look I like or was going for this set. But I do want to get it down a little bit. And then I will take a cleanup brush dipped in some alcohol. And you will see here in a second, I will just try to clean up that line, the smile line. I believe that's what that's called. Yeah. And it worked pretty good. I'm not saying these are the best French tips. Like I said, minimal experience here doing these, but I actually think they turned out pretty cute, especially for me not doing this very often. So I don't know a better way. I thought about pulling out the jelly stamper and doing it with those. And then I was like, oh, I don't want to get gel all over my skin, especially when I'm like trying to see if I have an allergy to this stuff or not. So at the end of the day, I decided this was probably the best way for me to do this. So I do have to do 2 layers. Don't worry. Because I do the second layer the same way as I did the first layer. I'm just trying to build up the opaqueness. I don't leave that in for you guys, except on one nail. I just show you guys one nail. Speaking of not leaving stuff in, I did do 2 layers of that pink color. I just left the second layer out because it's the same as the first, and the video was really long with all this nail art, so I was trying to minimize how much I actually had in the video. So I did do 2 layers of that. And then as far as these French tips go, when I get one done, I do put it in the lamp for about 15 seconds just to kind of flash cure it and hold it in place so it's not like running or moving or anything like that. And then I move on to the next nail. And then when I'm done with this one, I will cure for a full 60 seconds. And then I'll do my thumb. I do the thumb off camera as far as the French tip, just because it's just the same thing that I just did on the other 4. So I don't leave that in either. But I tried to leave as much as the important stuff in as I had to, or needed to, or wanted to, and then pull some stuff out. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm cleaning up this last one, and then I will cure for 60 seconds, and then we will get into the second layer. And like I said, I only show the second layer on the pointer finger. I leave it out. There we are. We're cured. We're going to go in with the second layer. And this just builds up. I'm not really changing the shape or anything. I'm just building up the opaqueness because this is a milky white, which is lovely, but a little bit hard for French tips. If I was going to do French tips on a regular day, not showing off a product, I would grab a more stark white versus a milky white to do French tips. But I think, like I said, I think it turned out lovely. So once I am done with this, we're going to cure again for 60 seconds because the other ones need a full cure as well. And then I will finish up my thumb, and then we will get into some really fun nail art. I actually really love what I did, and it turned out so pretty. It's definitely I mean, I got some gems or charms out, whatever you want to call them. But first, we are going to chrome these babies out. So this is Born Pretty Chrome that they sent me, I think 2 or 3 packages ago. And I thought it would be perfect to go over this set. I think it's like a mermaid chrome. Either way, it's gorgeous. So I did put on the top coat. I didn't leave that in camera because, again, it's more than needs to be. And I am going to top coat again at the end, which I do leave in. So I top coated, and then I was going to cure for 15 seconds, but I wasn't paying attention and I accidentally cured for 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, I hope that works. Usually I chrome after 15 seconds, but as you can see, it worked just fine. My thumb, I did only cure for 15 seconds, and that worked out just as good. So 15 to 30, I think, is fine. But it just gives it a whole different, like, I don't know, it just gives it such a pretty look. So after we are done chroming, then we'll get into top coating and gemstone placement. So we're almost there. Okay. I've got out these are my little gem dishes that I use. And I got these beautiful flowers out, and then these little pearls. They have some really, really tiny ones in here, which I thought would be perfect for lining the French line. So I'm only going to do this on my ring finger and my thumb. The rest I'm not. I thought about maybe doing like that 3D gel look like on the French tip, and then I wimped out at the last minute, so I did not do it. So I put the rhinestone glue on where I want it, and then I'm going to top coat. I've been seeing this way of application for a while now, and I've tried it like twice, and it worked really good. So this is probably the method I'm going to stay with, because then I don't have to top coat once the gems and rhinestones are on, and I think it makes them look cleaner and better, and I don't have to try to like get around them. So if I was using big, I don't know. This is just, they're little, it's fine. So this is the way that I'm doing it. I don't know if it's proper or not, but I mean, I've seen nail techs do it, so I think it's fine. And then I'm going to put these little pearls all, like, they're just going to kind of wrap the French line. And then I will put one of the little pearls inside the flower too. I do have, it came with the flower set. I think they're either gold or silver caviar beads. I don't remember, but I wanted to use the little pearl ones. I thought they were so pretty, and I thought they would look so good inside the flowers with this particular look, and I think they do. So I'm glad that I had these, and I'm glad that this is what I used. And I'm cleaning up the cuticles, and then we're going to cure this nail I'm going to do a full cure because it has top coat on it. And in my experience, it's just better to do a full cure once you have top coat on versus just a flash cure, unless you're chroming. Which, oh, speaking of, when I chromed, I did the flash cure, and then once I chromed them, I did put them back in for the remaining 30 seconds, except the thumb I put in for the remaining, well, I think I just did it for a minute because at that point it was already in there. So, whew, okay. Sorry, I need a breather. Okay, we are onto the thumb. So I put the rhinestone glue exactly where I wanted it. And I do put the lid back on every single time because it kind of stops it from leaking. So now we are going to top coat it, and then we will get into our placement. And on this one, I decided to do a couple more flowers. So instead of just one, I did decide to do 3 on this one. I'm sorry, I'm really high up, so it's really hard to see. Well, okay, there we go. I think I pulled it down enough. It's always fun trying to get these exactly, because they need to be on a certain side to get them to place them right. So yeah, I had to flip that one around. And then I will put, I think I only put like 3 pearls on this one, and then I do fill the flowers with the pearls. Okay, so while I'm finishing up this nail, I'm going to talk to you guys about this top coat because this is, again, my first time using it. And it's a lot like the base coat. It's very thin and runny. So I did finally figure out that I need to like just extremely thin layers. Like I wiped off, when I do my other 3 nails, I wiped off the majority on the brush, like in the bottle. So I only had a little bit. And finally I was like, oh, okay, that is like the right application, because I just had too much on my brush when I was doing this nail and the ring finger, and I was getting a lot of flooding, and I was getting a little bit frustrated because I don't want to use a product that floods like crazy, but I mean, it's a brand new bottle and I had too much on my brush. So I'm not going to blame the product for me, but I am learning the product. So I'm going to give myself some grace because it's a new product that I've never used before and I'm still learning it. So with that being said, do I recommend this base coat and top coat? Yes, but be cautious. So base coat to me is base coat. I've used a lot of different base coats. As long as they leave the right amount of stickiness for the top coat and for the gel polishes, then I've never used a base coat where I would be like, oh God, don't use that base coat. It's horrible. But top coat is a whole nother story. Is the top coat super shiny? Is it super durable? Does it like have a long lasting shine? Blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff. Once I figured out the right amount to have on my brush, as you can see, I'm like doing the top coat on the other nails now, and the flooding is like not happening like it did on the other 2 nails. I was like thrilled by that. This top coat is far superior in shininess compared to a lot that I have used. So as much as I'm not a huge fan of the thinness, I'm a huge fan of how pretty it is and how shiny it is. And as far as hold up, I don't know that I'll ever be able to fully test that because I just do not leave my nails on long enough to test out stuff like that. Maybe someday I will, but right now I do not. So these are our 2 sets done. I am going to leave the hand that I just did on as long as I can, probably till Thursday when I'm ready to, or well, at least till Wednesday, at least 2 days. I'm going to give it a full 48 hours because that's when a gel allergy would pop up, is within 48 hours, before I pop them off. So that's where we're at. So far, so good. I really feel pretty confident about these. I love the products. I highly recommend the products. Again, if you're going to use the gel base and the top coat, just be cautious of not putting too much on the brush. It does not need a lot. So now we are cuticle oiling with our Crypt serum from Nailzinacoffin. This is watermelon coconut, and it is divine. You can save using the code Coffin20. Highly recommend. You guys know I highly recommend. And check out the decals while you're there. That's what I have on my right hand, and they're so fall and so pretty. They have flowers and pumpkins on, if you couldn't tell. And they're gorgeous. They will be on my Instagram soon, hopefully. I have a little bit of a backlog of nails to post still before I get into new sets, except these, because these will be posted today. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I have yapped so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like this set. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.